All right, it's time for the week 3 hot read. Last week, we had a great start. We're 2-0 on the hot read. We took Seahawks plus 5.5, closed at 4.5. So even with all the Seattle injuries, we still got some CLV. Seahawks won outright in overtime. And then Chiefs, minus 2.5 on the hot read, closed at 3.5. We got past that key number. We got the right side of it. Chiefs won by 8. So we're 2-0 on the hot read. We're getting that closing line value. That's the goal here. Get the line before it moves. So we're going to start out with a little different choice than usual. Going to Thursday night and taking the 49ers minus 10 against the Giants. Normally, I don't play a lot of high lines, but I think this one's going higher. We got blowout city coming in San Francisco. Last 3 times the Giants played a really good team. Cowboys last week, 40-0. Eagles in the playoffs, they lost by 31. Eagles in the regular season, 26. So when the Giants play real teams, it's not going well for them. When they play the Cardinals, it's not going well for them. They need a miracle half comeback later on in the game just to barely squeak by what we mostly think is the worst team in the league. So I think this shapes up as a huge Niners win. Right now, San Francisco has won 12 straight regular season games. 8 of the 12 wins are by 13 or more. I think that's about where this line's going to end up. We're getting it at 10. So I'm going to grab it now. Giants defense is terrible. They were dead last in DVOA against the run. This is the exact sort of team that the Niners just run it up on. So why now? Why minus 10? We got Saquon Barkley. Looks like I don't think he's going to play in this one. We got an ankle injury, maybe high ankle. We're not totally sure yet. And that line is a mess. Andrew Thomas, the one really good player, was out today with a hamstring injury. The guards are both getting benched and in and out of the game. It's just a really disaster. So no line. Saquon Barkley, we don't know if he's going to play. I don't think he's going to be out there. Take the Niners. Couple Thursday only trends for you. Underdogs like the Giants, who won by 3 or less the week before, 11-18 against the spread, only 38%. Niners, favorites of 7 or more on Thursday nights, 61%. So I think this gets to maybe 13 by the end of the week. That's a little teaser protection, so you can't tease under a touchdown. Give me the Niners minus 10. And then we'll go to Sunday. I'm going back to my Atlanta Falcons, plus 5 on the road in Detroit. This one's going to sound a lot like the one we did last week. Seattle at a similar number in Detroit. And I think it's a pretty similar sort of read. 2 teams that are pretty close to each other, but the line is too high. And I don't think Atlanta's getting enough respect yet. The Falcons are pretty good. They played the Packers today. They ran 31 more plays. They nearly doubled Green Bay in yards, 12 more minutes with the ball. They only won by 1, only at the end. But I think that's mostly because they went 2 of 5 in the red zone. They converted a little bit more comfortably all those field goals, and I think Atlanta's looking a lot better. Bijan Robinson is absolutely electric out there. And Desmond Ridder, slow start, but they got him running the second half. And that reminded me a little bit of Daniel Jones. I know, not the highest praise in the world, but I think they found something there. And that defense, they found a little bit too. Lions, I don't know. That defense, bottom 5 last year. I'm not sure they look so improved. We just saw them give up 37 to the Seahawks. And that opening night Chiefs performance doesn't look so great defensively now after the Chiefs only put 17 on the Jaguars. So I like Atlanta here. I think they're just as good as Detroit. And again, look at the injury list. Lions running back David Montgomery, he says himself he thinks he'll be out for a couple weeks with a quad injury. Jahmyr Gibbs, the rookie, he had an ankle injury. Amon-Ra, he was out. He came back in, possible turf toe. We don't know if he'll go. That's all the weapons on offense. And then the offensive line has a couple injuries. James Houston, very likely the injury news is going to push this line towards Atlanta. So I like the Falcons here at the plus 5. If you follow me on the Action Network app, I put this in as a bonus look ahead on the money line too, plus 205. If you haven't played that yet, plus 180. I like the money line too. I think the Falcons go to Detroit, get the win on the road. So hot reads for week 3. The Atlanta Falcons plus 5, 49ers minus 10.